out, how it's going to look. And that gives me a perspective of what kind of videos also I want to make.
Mhm.
Only like a set particular events which I want to do, that will be a set content. Like I know I want to record this, I want to edit like this, yes. But usually when I'm out in the flow, I would just switch on the camera, just sit down and just record and see what happens. Let's see what it takes me.
Welcome to the Voice Podcast, the podcast for students by students. And today we have with us a student who was at SLC, who is amazingly talented at singing, video editing, and simply embracing life. And today, without losing any more time, I introduce you to Nitin Mohan. Thank you for coming on the Voice Podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be over here.
Yeah, and so you were a student of SLC. And what makes this episode special? It's the day before, like it's your birthday tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
It's your birthday tomorrow,
Yeah, I'm
but
excited.
also you're graduating from SLC. The graduation ceremony, convocation is tomorrow as well.
Exactly,
So
yes.
pretty important day for you tomorrow. And so you're coming on the podcast essentially to talk about how to practice the hobby of video editing as a student, because you were a student and you are still a student at Algonquin
Yep, yep.
College, and also talk a bit about your journey throughout as well
Mhm.
with video editing. So tell us, how do you feel less than 24 hours to go on that stage, get your diploma in digital marketing communications, coming to Canada, all that journey in 24 hours? It's the celebration of your first year in Canada. How do you feel? And on top of that, cherry on the cake, your birthday.
Yeah. Wow, that was a very good introduction. I'm impressed by that. So yeah, 24 hours left. I am very very excited. Honestly, I had no particular picture or like a prediction for how it's gonna be tomorrow, and I'm genuinely excited. It's been almost 11 months since I've been here, and it's been a very very up and down journey. Been in Kingston for 4 months and then out to Ottawa for the past 5 months. So it's been a great journey. I've met a lot of interesting people, like you especially, a lot of interesting people, and I'm excited. The fact that I cleared digital marketing communications from St. Lawrence College. The main thing is that the faculties and the students who I mingled with and then collaborated to work with were extremely good. I got to teach some of my skills and I got to learn a lot of skills from a lot of people, especially management skills and how to go about with the client, how you work with the client and everything. It was very informative and I enjoyed the entire experience of DMC. I low-key didn't want it to end. I would have been happy if it had gone for another semester, but good things had to come to an end. I was excited that it did, and I'm very, very excited for tomorrow. I honestly don't know what to expect. It's my birthday, and we're getting our certificates for graduating. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be nice, I hope, and I'm very excited to meet all our classmates again, to connect with them once again, and then enjoy one last time before we never know when we're gonna connect again. So yeah.
Absolutely, and like you mentioned, you don't know about tomorrow. Well, what's next for you now? That what's how is Algonquin, by the way?
So about Algonquin, it's a very good college. If I have to place them between with each other with St. Lawrence and Algonquin,
Mhm.
there's no comparison because each of them had their own unique set of importance.
Yeah.
What I felt in St. Lawrence was it was more connected to the course, and they gave more details to the small things so people to learn each and every small
Mhm.
thing. Algonquin is more generalized, and the faculties are really good, very very well off in the industry, and they know what's
Mhm.
happening. So that's something which is good. And also, I met a lot of unique, different people from different parts of the world in Ottawa. So that was something which I was very appreciative about Algonquin College.
And like coming here to now, you said that you learned a lot, but you also teach a lot. And one thing which you probably taught a lot of us in the DMC class is, you have a very joyful nature. And we've combined that with also you make awesome videos. You're a very creative person. You
Thank you.
you play the guitar, very nice strums sometimes.
Yeah.
With your acoustic guitar, you make a lot of lovely reels also on Instagram.
Thank you so much.
So tell us how you channel so much creativity.
So when it comes to video and music, I've been with music for over and mostly my entire life. I picked up I used to play keys in the younger ages of my life, but then from the past decade, I've been playing the guitar, and it's been a very, very extremely good experience. I got to connect with a lot of people with music, and music is something when you connect with people, you connect in a different way. It's a
Oh yeah.
different bond. So I enjoy that. And coming to video, the thing I see through is last time when we spoke also I was telling you that like I see my life through the camera lens, and I like to showcase that to everybody. Like it's not the same unique lifestyle. I would say, hey, I woke up at this time and this is what I did, and then I don't want to show that because that everybody wants to see, but I want to show the unique real like the feeling of what people go through, like how in a day stressful or enjoyable it is for a student who comes from a different country to a different country, breaking, struggling, and then trying to find their niche and exploring. That is something which I like to show through the videos, and I try to make it more engaging, more entertaining, using the nice music and everything, all of those. So that is something which I like to show in my videos. Recently, like I just showed you the
Yeah,
one I also put up for my birthday, which I'm very excited about.
it is.
It took me a while to make it. I was brainstorming and I
Mhm,
wrote those 10 points. It was amazing that how I did that, and I
mhm,
was very excited. So the same thing, like everything I do for video is to showcase my entire lifestyle, or anybody's, like a typical life of a student who comes from a different country
mhm,
to a different country to pursue their dreams, and how it is. And I feel like the way I'm putting it out with videos is something I can do in a better way. I'm not telling anybody else can't do it, they can, because they should, and it's a very good means of communicating.
mhm.
But I feel like that is my strongest suite of connecting with people outside. So that is why I stick to that kind of content format. Yeah.
So would you say like video making, video editing is your favorite among?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you consider the skill sets which I have right now, I would
Mhm,
say video editing is the toppest one which I love to do. Especially my own content. I do help a lot of people create their own videos and content as well. But for me, it's personally my own content which I like to create in my own video, because every time I pick up the phone and record a video, and let's say I'm recording a video of you, I know exactly how I want to edit it. Like when it goes to editing, I know exactly how I want it to be placed. So that is something which I'm proud of myself about, because when I shoot a video, I know exactly how it has to go. So many people usually what they do is they record the video and then they come to post, and then when they start editing, then they figure out how they can place the videos. But for me, let's say I'm shooting an entire day, and I know which shot, what I shot, where I shot, how I want it to be.
mhm.
So that makes the editing process much, much faster. And I'm able to edit faster now with that skill set. So, yeah.
You mentioned a lot of dreams coming to a new country. What is the dream of Nitin?
Dream of Nitin. That's a very, very good question. So, my dream is first and foremost entering, like I'm starting off fresher. I don't have any experience of working in prior. So for me, at least to land a good marketing job, especially in digital
Mhm,
marketing, and I want to get into content side, that is something I see as my
mhm,
future. But if I say a dream is creating content, and not just any content,
mhm,
I want to create to give value. Like, I want to provide the kind of value which anybody else can't do it easily. Like, coming to this country for me, or anybody who is in my shoe, even you're an
mhm,
international student, so I'm pretty sure you would be able to relate to what I would say. Like, it's not easy for us to make that move, like
mhm,
picking up everything what we had back home and shifting it with two suitcases across the world and trying to make a new living here. So it's not easy when you come, you don't know anybody here, you barely know the roommate you're staying with, and then you come here, and then and then you're literally lost. So you have to figure out from scratch. You need to build yourself up without knowing anything. So that made me realize that helping people and providing value is something which affects on in this part of the country. Like, since Canada is one of the most immigrant friendly countries, and yearly we have millions of people coming over, and helping them out makes it much more feel better because you have been through that. That is what I see in my perspective. For me, like, I like to help people because everybody comes in a different path and every different difficulty way, and that is why I want to create the value with my content to help people. So that is the kind of way that I see my
Mhm.
dream, like that, creating the content, valuable content for that. So yeah, that is my
So yeah,
dream.
content creation is fantastic. It's a new form of communicating to content of social media. I'm just like you. Also, I want to create content. The content creator side is what attracts me the most. Well, I do love over SM web, but definitely it has a bit of an artistic aspect to it.
True.
As a creative person, that's well, and it gives me a chance to isolate myself a bit and be with myself. I really like that. And creating content. So, how do you? Many students are like you. They want to show their life, at SLC, the authentic lifestyle of what a student is really like on campus or, working jobs or also hard times, good times. How you say that you know which shot you will
Yeah,
put in the video. So before editing content, how to shoot videos as a student, like you are busy with your studies, probably jobs and
exactly.
everything.
True. So, like, what this is what I do.
How do you do it?
So for me, it's like, usually inspiration strikes randomly because being creative on command is not easy.
Mhm.
So creativity and inspiration strikes when you feel like doing something productive at a point. So for me, it's like, let's say there's an event coming up and I really like the event and I want to cover it. That is when I start planning out what I want to do throughout the shot, like throughout the event, how I want to shoot it. But let's say the real, like, let's say you want to create content for waking up and showing your daily lifestyle. And it is not easy because every day you wake up without having your phone in your hand and switching on the camera.
Mhm.
Because doing that on a random day, it's not easy because you need to keep reminding yourself everything you do, you need to record because it has to be the content.
Yeah.
So for me, how it works is I get inspired by a lot of people's content as well as their lifestyle and how they
Yeah.
portray it. And for me, that is when I start picturing the previous day or the previous time, like how I want to shoot the video. And if I want that kind of scale, I make sure I remind myself every time of that day to record the video, like even if it's a POV video, like from my perspective. And then if I want to shoot the day in a life of me as a student in winter or in summer and how it's experienced, or probably what are the pros and cons of coming here to this country. So you need, like, for me, I segregate the day in such a way that I remind myself that I need to pick up my phone and switch on the camera and start recording. And it's become a habit. Like every
Mhm.
time I pick up my phone, the first thing is I go to the camera app because I've done it so much now. It becomes a habit. So
Okay. Yeah.
so that's what I would say if you were planning to start your own form of
Mhm.
content.
So my question is more technical now. How do you remind yourself to how when you started taking those videos? How do you remind yourself? Oh, I need to take out my phone. And secondly, is your camera, your smartphone camera, on a specific setting or something like that?
Okay,
Yeah,
so the technical part. So yeah,
yeah.
so coming to the first part of it, like how do I remind myself? Usually, I make content based on the event which I'm attending. So basically, if I go out with a friend or if you're
Mhm.
going for an event like a festival, that time it makes sense. Like it automatically comes to me that I need to pick up and record the camera. Like if you're
Mhm.
getting food, like I want to record the food, like how the food is being made, like properly get some different angles and
Mhm.
shoot. So my perspective is, let's say I go to this one particular thing and I want to shoot this. I maybe take 3 to 4 videos. So I have flexibility to move around with multiple videos when I'm making the final edit. So I'll have more content to work around with. Coming to the settings of my phone, I use an iPhone 12, which I've had for 3 years now, and there's no extra third-party app or anything additional which I add to make it. It's a normal, the original app, the camera app. It's I shoot at 4K 60 FPS and everything. So for me, it's not based on the quality of video you shoot, because the day and age videos you're getting out of these phones are pretty good. Like even with an iPhone 12, 13, if you go on your video and you shoot a good video, everything matters on your edit. So when you come to post and you start editing, from the first to the last, what value and emotion you want to portray shows throughout the video. Like the shots you take, the edit you make, the color grading you put, the kind of filter you use, all of that makes a difference to what kind of emotion you're trying to portray. So for me, technically, I do not focus so much on the equipments. It's just the phone and I edit. When it comes to post, is when I make more, investment into time to show how I want to show that video to be.
All right. So I guess you spend 80% of the time more into editing, would you say, than footage?
I mean, yeah, that's true. But honestly, if you see it in that way,
80% effort.
effort.
Let's put in effort.
Yeah, 80% effort is going to be for editing now, because after doing multiple reels till now, I've got a hang of how the phone is going to be kept, how it's going to be angled and everything. I have a particular set process where I can do. And when it comes to edit, sorry, when it comes to edit, I know exactly how the edit is going to be, and then I put more effort into improving my edit, because that is where the skill grows. Like, the more plugins you use or something, like you use more transitions, you use more sound effects. Like I'm trying, it's a trial and error right now. I'm trying multiple things. Like before, my videos were more warm in tone, now it's more cool in tone. And I'm trying sound effects, I'm trying different music. So trying to see what works with the audience which I'm trying to put it out to. And right now it's a very small audience which I'm catering to, but then I want to, again, the value which is provided, it goes with my content and the emotion I'm trying to portray. So yeah.
I have to also another technical question,
Mhm.
because our audience is probably basically new, probably
Yeah.
to editing, and you mentioned color grading, warm and cooler. Can you give us like basic explanation, like what does those terms mean? Like when you get into I'm a student, I want to start editing videos.
Mhm.
Like what are the first probably 5 to 8 basic terms that I should know?
So when you're starting off, basics, I would say, it depends on the software you're starting. Even if I can list out this, technically the softwares.
Yeah, do
If
tell us the softwares.
Yeah, so if I would start off Adobe Rush or iMovies, if you're using a Mac, that is when I started with iMovies Basic.
iMovie is free, right? If you
It's
have a
free,
Mac,
yeah, yeah. So I was mentioning the free software. So iMovies is completely free. That is the one which I used. If you're going for Windows, I used Wonderchef Filmora as well. That is also a free application, and that gave me a basic of everything. Like I learned bare minimum how to import a video, how to put it on that, like how you put it onto the timeline, how you cut clips, like how you break them, how you merge them together, and how you export it out. So all of these basics. Color grading comes a bit more into the further in the future if you're upgrading to a better software. Like I use Final Cut Pro right now for my edits. um if you're going to Final Cut Pro, or if you're going to Premiere Pro, or if you're going to DaVinci Resolve, all of these big softwares. By the way, DaVinci Resolve is also free. So
Oh
if
yeah,
you're ever
it's
looking,
free, but who? Once I
it's
opened it,
yeah, yeah.
uh,
It's very overwhelming when you see a lot of dials
yeah.
and a lot of things going on. But that's the beauty of it. Like it gives you so much of endless possibilities. You don't know where to start, but you don't have a possible end. You can keep learning and learning and learning and make your skill set better. So when it comes to color grading, for me, I stick to a particular set of rules I follow. Initially, I work on the a raw video and then I add layers on top of it to make it look better and better. You learn better. That is very much involved in DaVinci Resolve. If you're going into DaVinci, color grading is it's not the industrial best. So I'm getting too technical,
Mhm.
but then like the industrial best for color grading is DaVinci Resolve, but I use Final Cut because it's more user friendly
Mhm.
and it's more easier for people who want to start off and want to get into video editing. If you're just there for bare minimum, if you want to import, make some small edits and take it out, iMovies, Adobe Rush, all of these, Filmora, all of these free softwares, perfectly good. They work really well. But if you're looking to get indulged a bit more into video editing, I would say take a big leap and go for like Adobe Premiere Pro or like Final Cut Pro.
Mhm.
They are user friendly. It takes time to get used to it. It is a tedious process. You will like want to break your laptop
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
it doesn't work for you when it sits. Even for me, it's happened before, but then now it's become so smooth. I can work faster and easier, and I'm glad I
Mhm.
learned the skill set for Final Cut Pro because it's amazing.
And what is a proper workflow for you? Like as a student, because you're a student. So how
Yeah.
do you find time as a student to do all of that?
So
Plus, you work also a lot.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, if you want, if I would say, let's say I'm making a video for the next, let's say in the next 2 days, I have to record the video today and tomorrow and
Mm.
make the edit. If you see in a weekly flow, I do have classes going on throughout the week, and I have work as well. I'm a student, so I'm working part time. So usually for me, when it comes to videos, I try to make the time usually in the evenings when I get time. Like usually when I have the free time to sit, I put my effort to work through the videos because I know for a fact I want to get it as soon as possibly done. Like I don't want to procrastinate. And plus, right now the editing speed which I can do it at has kind of improved from with the content I've been making. So I'm able to make better or faster content than before, and it has helped me with time saving. Like it has given me a huge amount of time savings and a huge amount of potential to create more content,
Mhm.
and it's giving me the motivation to do more. So usually if I'm shooting a video on Monday, let's say, and I want to go out on Thursday, I make sure I'm done with the recording in the first 2 days, and the third day I'm through with the editing. So that is my process. If I'm planning to go for the next 2 days, I would record today and tomorrow and get the edit done tomorrow so it can go live on the third day. So that is how my workflow usually goes around.
And any video creator or production which you take inspiration from,
Any video inspiration for video is
or any
through.
movie or TV show, do you take? Where do you find your inspiration?
So
Mm.
movies, of course,
Mhm.
there are very few movies which I feel extremely good when I say with video production. One is Interstellar. It can be Interstellar. It is Avatar, which came out recently. Those are extremely good VFX and video editing. Amazing, amazing films. Usually for my short form content in reels, I usually go with some pages on Instagram who do the same content as me. There are so many of them. There are
Mhm.
multiple of them, and each video gives so much of inspiration to do the next one. Like if I see a video and I feel like, okay, this is something I want to do, I save it and I think about it and I recreate my own version of it. And once it's set in my head, I start the shooting. Like it's the thing that reels, TikTok, all of
Mhm.
these are small inspirations.
Yeah.
And whenever I get one of them, I stick to the format. I make my own version, start recording, shoot, edit, and it's out. So that is my process. So yeah.
And there's a thing, something which you said earlier, and was you want people to feel the emotions
Hmm.
coming out of your videos. How are you feeling emotionally?
Wow, this is turning into a therapy session. Okay. No, so
Because there was a very particular moment, like in class, it was when we were having class with Kathy.
mhm.
You talked about openly to all of us about depression,
Yeah.
and I myself deal a lot with it. Like
Yes.
for many people, it's like, it's temporary. Sometimes it's here for 4 5 months, you're completely fine, and then it
Mhm.
comes back for 1 or two
It
months,
hits you like a
just like that.
truck, even without you
Yeah,
knowing. It hits you like a truck. I totally agree
yeah,
because I remember us having this
mhm,
conversation as well.
yeah.
So
So yeah, I'm just asking,
yeah, true.
how,
How I'm doing
yeah,
emotionally
mhm,
right now, I'm stronger than before for sure,
mhm,
and I'm dealing with my anxiety much better, and
mhm,
it's put me in a better position to understand myself. So when I came here first to Canada, like
mhm.
any other student who comes internationally, it's not easy for us. Everybody thinks the big move, it's going to change lifestyles, it's going to
No.
make it's true certain ways, but
Mhm,
when you're seeing it in the larger perspective, it is not that easy, especially when you're coming from like an Indian background. For me personally, because over here there are a lot of us, and everybody thinks it's easy. You have your own people around, but still, even though you have them, it's not home. It doesn't feel like it. And then initially when I came here, I did feel homesick. I felt like, no, this is the wrong decision. I felt I wanted to head back immediately, but then I sat back and thought, like, I've put the effort, I've waited so long to make
mhm,
this move, and I've come here so far. Let's give it a shot. So me thinking like that, it's brought me 11 months now, and I do not regret staying here. And i- it's been such a good journey, and emotionally it's hard for everybody. It's not that one person is stronger, the other
mhm,
person. It's hard for everyone who comes, they makes this big move. The one thing I would say is just, you got this. Just don't worry, you got this. I was in the same place. I've come through with the same struggle, and we're all here to help you. Like, everybody's here to help, and that's all I would say. Like, it's gonna be it's gonna be good.
Now, let's do a bit more to,
Mhm.
expressing emotions through videos. How do you, is it like with a flow, or sometimes with friends you say, oh, this was a very good moment, let's redo that? So,
Um, if I would say it like that, when I was back in India, it wasn't that easy for me to express my emotions.
mhm,
Even if I'd say it in the family perspective or my friends and everything, it wasn't
mhm,
that easy. It took me a while to open up and like, talk about myself and explore my emotions and everything. So when I got here, the one thing I learned back from home was that, like, slowly opening up to, showing my emotions and exploring. So when I came here, I felt like that would be something I would like to show in my videos and my reels and
mhm,
my content and everything. So everything is on the flow. Like, it's not like one moment which I really like, I want to recreate it. I just pick up my phone, switch on the camera, and just record. What comes, what is going in the content, and my experience is what I want to show. It's not just like doing a podcast and I want to make one content reel out of it.
mhm,
It's there. I would like to do that as well. But then when I step out, now it's raining. So if I step out and I see it's a nice weather in a few minutes, I'll pick up my phone and switch on the camera to just record and see how it is, like how it's going to pan out, how it's going to look. And that gives me a perspective of what kind of videos also I want to make.
mhm,
Only like a set particular events which I want to do, that will be a set content. Like, I know I want to record this, I want to edit like this, yes. But usually when I'm out in the flow, I would just switch on the camera, just sit down and just record and see what happens. Let's see what it takes me to. So that's it. Like, that is, it's just on the flow. Yeah.
and so another question would be like, how to make a very good video? Uh, you said a lot of emotion, but how do I make a good video which connects with people?
So good video. So when it comes, one is, yeah, quality matters. Everybody's like, you need to have a good quality camera, you need to make good quality content. That is true. But for me personally, again, what I want to see in a video is the value you're providing. So if you're providing the element, like the amount of value that you're looking to showcase to your audience, or particular message you're trying to get through, that is good content. So if you're getting a certain message out there with a certain value of content, you're making good content. But if it, just for the sake, I'm picking up the camera to show this and this and this, and you want to show you have a good camera, you have a good editing skill, yeah, that is also good. But then you're not providing the value which is required, and that is not going to get you the recognition you're looking for. So providing the value, the quality you're trying to put out, that makes a huge difference. So yeah.
And so I think like for me, we have like 5 more minutes. Is there something you would like to touch on?
um I would like to talk about um, how people come across the world again, like moving here, especially for one thing is it's okay to be scared.
Mhm.
And I was scared when I was coming here, even though I come from a good background with my family supporting me for everything. I would say it's okay to be scared. It's okay to take the leap and make the jump because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. It's better to enjoy the days which is going right now than looking for tomorrow. So for me, and I would say even if people who are coming here, who are students who are coming here, I would say just do it. Don't worry about it. Just get out there and just take the opportunity. Just go for it because you never know what's going to come for tomorrow, day after. Just enjoy the day today. If you get the opportunity, just go for it. Come here. Like the country is amazing. I wouldn't say the people are so nice here. It's totally acceptable. Like the people here are so sweet. It's so nice. The country is amazing. Um, you'll meet a lot of new people, new diversities, and you get to talk to so many people, new connections. It's beautiful. So if you're making the move here, I know it's a big thing to wrap up your entire life and come here and start from scratch. But that's the beauty of it. Like that gives you a thing, like that gives you a thought, or that gives you a motivation in life that any place, anytime I can pick up my stuff and go to a new place and start from scratch and call that new place my home. And I did that twice. Like I came to Canada, I was in Kingston with DMC for 4 months, and then I was like, let me explore. So I picked up my bags, packed up my room, and I moved to Ottawa. And it was a great decision I made. I met a lot of new people, and probably I'm gonna do it again. I guess I will because I like that experience. I like the feeling of
Mhm.
packing up and going somewhere, exploring, meeting new people, meeting the new cultures, new diversities. It's just beautiful. So that's from me. So yeah.
That was very inspirational of you too, because a lot of us are afraid to, well, not us, many students might be afraid to, just take a step forward in life because we get sometimes comfortable with our
Hmm.
comfort zone. And sometimes, sadly, many people get comfortable living in the uncomfortable as
Exactly.
well.
Hmm.
So it's you need to have, it's silly, but you need to have a end vision in mind. What does the end looks like,
True.
and and do the small steps that will make you reach to that beautiful end picture. And
Exactly. True.
so what's your advice for students who still, like having managing that student life, part-time job, and also having a hobby which you are so passionate about, but to keep doing it consistently?
So I would say that one thing, if you're doing part time and studying, it's not easy for everybody. Like we have all been in the same boat. Just hang in there. You got this. It's gonna pay off for sure. It's a bit more time. It's a matter of 1 or 2 years. You're studying. You're working part time. Just hang in there, and then you can get through it. It's gonna pay off eventually. If you're having a hobby and you want to pursue it and you want to work more towards it, you can do it by making the time, try as much as possible, because even I felt the same when I was doing the videos or playing music or trying to reach out to people to connect. It wasn't easy, but then I found my way through by segregating my time accordingly and then like making sure I went to it rather than just procrastinating. I mean, we do all
Mhm. Oh
procrastinate.
yeah, we do. Yeah,
It's something
I do.
I mean, even I've done it.
Mhm.
Everybody does it, but then it's a step. Like you have to make up your mind and take the step to go forward and push for that hobby or that passion you're looking forward to making it happen. Like just make the time and go for it. That's it.
Well, any last thing you would like to add? Any Any shout out, any thank you for any people
Yeah,
you'd like
shout
to?
out, of course. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
of course. So, one thing,
yeah.
shout out to DMC for giving me
Mhm.
this incredible opportunity to learn about digital marketing, and all my classmates, Sean especially. He's taught me so much about his culture and his journey to come here, and how he was in the US. He worked in the hotel industry, and then he came here, and then he's trying his digital marketing aspects, and he wants to grow there. And I'm very proud of
Thank you.
uh, his journey as well. And all the classmates, of course, everyone
Mhm.
who've come here, who've struggled. Shout out to everybody, and do check out my page. I know
Yeah, sure. What's your page?
so my page is Nitin Nitin underscore M. It's on Instagram. I've still not moved to YouTube, and I'm thinking about
Mhm.
it. Hopefully, I do in the future. When I make the time, I'm gonna look into making long form content as well.
Mhm.
But yes, guys, if you can check out my Instagram page, it's Nitin underscore M. It would be amazing. And
Thank you very much, Nitin. You know, you are just here for like 2 days,
to-
and you made your precious time as a student coming from Ottawa to give us 1 precious hour of your
thank you so much.
time, and we are very grateful for that to have you to teach us the basic of a skill of your talent, which is video editing. Not everyone can do it. I still can't do edits like Nitin do, so I still have time to catch up. And but thank you for that, and thank you for sharing openly and genuinely about your journey of a student life, because sometimes we see always happy pictures, happy moments.
Mhm.
We never see, like, you know, the not the necessarily the bad times, but just the normal times.
Exactly.
There are
Normal
times where you
times.
just live routinely, people asking me how I'm doing, like
True.
I'm doing just normal. Like I'm not feeling bad, I'm not feeling
I'm
great.
just there. It's
I, I'm
it's
I'm just living, and it's the beauty of it.
it's
You know,
beautiful. Exactly.
sometimes it's better to have nothing happening. It sounds sad, but it's a safe space which leads you to grow every day.
Exactly.
And thank you so much again.
Yeah,
And
thank you so much for having me. It's been
mhm,
an honor to be part of the podcast, and it's you're doing a very good job, and I'm very proud of the podcast you've been doing now, and I'm so honored to be part of it.
oh, thank you. You know, I'm trying to do a good job for you, audience,
Yes.
watching this video. You know, it's my job is to make basically content which are helpful, probably fun, and entertaining to you. And stay tuned on the Voice Podcast, which is on YouTube, which is Voice Podcast, also on Spotify, which is Voice Podcast again, Apple Podcast, you know it, Voice Podcast. And you can follow us also on Instagram. And yes, probably a TikTok coming soon. And thank you for watching this amazing episode with Nitin. And we can wish him again a very happy birthday
Thank
coming
you.
in tomorrow, and happy graduations
Thank you so much.
and
Thank you so
DMC.
much. And happy graduation to you as well.
Oh, yeah, I'm
We're
graduating
we're
tomorrow.
together. Exactly.
Also, and I have courses in 5 minutes. So thank you for watching this episode, and see you next week on the next episode. Bye bye.